Welcome to Yin Yoga for the immune system. Let's take a moment sitting up tall and settling in. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose and let it go out the mouth with an audible sigh. Letting go of everything that happened before you came for practice. Letting it reside in the past. Take another deep breath in through the nose and letting it go out the mouth, a gentle sigh, with the intent of letting everything that's going to happen after practice. It's in the future, it has no bearing on our time on the mat. Let it go. Take one last deep breath in through the nose, filling the belly, the lungs, the upper chest. And let it go with a gentle sigh out the mouth. Residing here now in the Vastu, the physical space you're in, and the space in the mind, present moment awareness. Begin to feel the stroke of breath, become aware of the stroke of breath in the inner nostrils. There's nothing you need to fix, there's nothing you need to change. Just notice how you feel. How you feel sitting into the support beneath you, shoulders relaxing away from the ears. The back jaw unhinging, lips and teeth parting. Taking moments to release, to settle, and to pay attention to what is happening. Kindly. And accepting it is what it is. There's no rejection. Allow the eyes to soften. Paying attention to the rise and fall of breath with the inhale and the exhale. You continue settling. Be paying closer attention to 4 areas of the body during practice. The groin, the abdomen, the armpits, and neck. While you have lymph nodes throughout the whole body, these are main areas of lymph nodes. And lymph nodes are where your body filters and breaks down harmful cells and bacteria. Lymph nodes make up the lymphatic system. Lymph fluid flows through your body. It actually flows from the feet up. So it flows down, up. So expect some gentle inverting. And it's this one-way drainage system flowing through lymph vessels. There's tubes, a network of tubes running all through your body, carrying white blood cells or T cells. And when they get to these nodes, it will break down the waste and filter them to the bloodstream, where your kidneys and liver will We'll then filter them out for excretion later. And today's practice will encourage this drainage flow and focus particularly on these 4 areas. It's always a good idea to pay attention to the lymphatic system during the cold weather. It's protecting us from infection and disease, but I think it's a good practice anytime. This isn't just a physical practice either. Think about what thought does to the physical body as well. The worries and the doubts, fears, thoughts of ill will. How does that affect the physical body? As we move through our yin practice, consider the right thought. As distractions come, and they will, that's what the mind does. Use the breath as your anchor to keep you in the present moment, to keep the mind from drifting off to the worries of the futures or the regrets of the past or the constant ruminations. Perhaps just a simple mantra, breathing in peace, breathing out calm. Breathing in healing, breathing out light. As simplistic as that may sound, imagine what we're doing off of the mat constantly. Why not invite this positive practice for the short time we're working on opening the physical body, and we'll create space in the mind and space on an emotional level as well. Let's take one last slow breath in and a deep breath out. Extend your legs, and as we begin lowering down on the mat or the space beneath you, have a couple blankets. If you have access to a bolster, great. If you don't, perhaps a pillow, a large pillow. If you know you have achy knees, really tight hips, perhaps a couple blocks. Don't worry if props aren't available to you, we'll always get by. So join me on the mat, lying down. If you'd like to have some support underneath the neck and the head, just make sure the shoulders are planted. Keep the knees bent. Arms out to the side, palms face up. And let the knees open wide, soles of the feet together. So if you'd like to have some extra support underneath your knees or beneath the sacrum, please do. Please sink back. Jaws relaxed. Eyes soft. Lengthen out the back side of your head. The chin can nod down gently towards your upper chest. Allow awareness to descend down to the lower abdomen. Feeling the gentle rise and fall. The inhale and exhalation. Sense an ease in the inner thighs. A softening through the groin where the thighs meet the body. Allowing the leg bones to be heavy. Feel the buttocks relaxing, releasing into the support beneath you. Sense the knees gently easing towards the support, towards the earth beneath you. Spaciousness through the lower abdomen. Sensing fluidity midway between the navel and the pelvic floor. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. Use your palms on the outside of the thighs to help the knees come back together, stepping your feet on the mat. Walk your heels towards the edge of the mat or wider than the hips and let your knees sink in. Big toes point in slightly. Allow the tailbone and your sacral bone to sink heavy. Feel the chin bone sinking heavy as well. Sinking through the mat, through the floor, deep into the earth beneath you. Heel toe your feet together. Hug your knees into the body, interlacing your fingers around your shins or underneath your thighs. Rather than forcing the hug, feel your thigh bones melting onto the abdomen. Your tailbone lengthening towards the space in front of you. The back of your head lengthening to the space behind you. Release, let your arms unfurl out to the side. Step your feet on the mat and let the legs slide long. Inhale your arms above the head with softness in the elbows. Lengthen your right heel away from the body. The leg is still resting on the floor. It feels as if the thigh is creating space from the trunk of your body. And relax. Do the same with the left heel. As you inhale, lengthen away from your body. And relax. Again on the right side, and this time add the right arm, lengthening at the wrist. You're lengthening through the right heel and the right wrist. On the exhale, relax. Move on to the left side. Inhale, lengthen away. Exhale, relax. Right side, lengthening away. Exhale, relax. And then move to the left side again. And relaxing. One more time in the right side. So on the inhale, lengthening out the right heel, lengthening from the right wrist. Everything staying flat to the surface beneath you. Exhale, relax. And one more time on the left side. And relax. Let the feet flop open, slight bend in the elbows, breathing in and breathing out. Gently draw the legs together, lengthen out the fingertips, and invite the shoulders, arms, and hands to the right side, to the right corner of your mat, the right side of your room, and then invite your heels to the right, coming into a croissant-like shape or banana-like shape. When you felt you've gone as far as you can, you have enough sensation, cross your right ankle over your left, and you can grab hold of your left wrist with your right palm. Shoulders and hips need to stay planted. Head can remain neutral, or with your nose pointed at the ceiling, dip your right ear over to the right shoulder so that your neck is completing the same arcing shape as your body. Eyes soft, jaws relaxed. Use the expanding inhalation to encourage opening towards the left armpit into the intercostal muscles within the left rib cage. And the exhales melting you back into the support beneath you. Imagine creating space, targeting the lymph nodes in the armpit area into the upper chest, 2 more breaths here. Release your wrists, release your ankles. Gently walk back to center, relaxing, soft elbows. Notice how you feel. We'll begin the second side, inviting the shoulders, arms, and hands to the left and walking your heels to the left. And when it feels right for you, you can cross the left ankle over the right. And take the left hand and grab hold of the right wrist if it's in your practice. Shoulders stay planted. Head can stay neutral, or with the nose pointed at the ceiling, dip the left ear towards the left shoulder. In the mind's eye, following breath as it expands towards the right armpit, into the intercostal muscles in the right rib cage. The lymph vessels that carry the colorless lymph fluid run close to the skin surface, subderma. You might imagine the breath expanding right below skin surface in the soft tissue, in the subdermal level. There in the fascia of the body, noticing how it moves, widening, lengthening, and on the exhale, contracting, pressing. Being acutely attuned to all the rhythm and flows of the body. Breath flow, circulatory flow, lymph flow. Take another breath here. Uncrossing ankles, releasing wrists. Gently walk back to center. Very relaxed, very soft. Bend your knees. Heel toe the feet to the edge of your mat or wider than the hips. Knees sink in. They may touch, they may not. Back in constructive rest. Big toes turn in slightly. Float the arms down by your side, palms face up. Heavy, heavy, heavy in the pelvic floor. Allow the sinking to occur. Tailbone, sacral bone, shin bone. How does the body feel after balancing out the sides? Notice the pulsations within. Gentle beating of the heart. Perhaps you could even be aware of that pulsation in the wrists. In the ankles. In the abdomen. Gently begin heel-toeing the feet together and draw the knees in towards your chest, interlacing your fingers around the shins or underneath the thighs. Lengthen out the back side of your head. Femur bones melting towards the abdomen, heavy, sinking. Tailbone lengthening away, long. No force. No need to. Lowering your feet down, look around your space. And if you have a bolster, take that. If not, roll up your blanket, fold it, or grab hold of a pillow. Lift your bottom up and place your prop right underneath the sacrum. When you're settled, draw your knees into your chest. If nothing's available, you can just do this without any props. And we're going to straighten the legs into the air. And then bring your arms into the air. Let the shoulder heads plug back into their sockets. You want to have the sense that you're a marionette and the universe is the puppeteer. The joints are very loose. You could also imagine that you're an astronaut in outer space. You have the sense of weightlessness, complete release. Gentle lengthening out the back side of your head, the chin's nodding gently towards the upper chest. Complete release of holding. We use this inversion to aid in flow, the lymph flow. Allow the eyes to settle. Sense facial bones floating upward. Cheekbone, temporal bone. Lightness in breath. Feel any heaviness in sensation or thought. Let it drain into the earth beneath you. Take a deep breath in. Full breath out. Very slowly begin bending your knees. Hug. Lower your feet down onto your mat, the surface. Lift your bottom. Slide your prop out to the side. Take the heels of your palms on top of your thighs and lengthen away. At the same time, lengthen out the back side of your head, feeling a long spine. And release. Allow your arms to come out to the side, shoulder height, palms face out. Walk your feet and knees together and very gently shift your hips ever so slightly to the right as you lower your knees to the left, coming into a spinal twist. Head can stay neutral or dip it over to the right so that you're gazing at your right fingertips. If it's uncomfortable for the top of your right hip, you can go ahead and prop your knees with a blanket or a bolster or a block. Have the shoulders settled onto the support beneath you. Breathing into the space through the chest center, deep into the armpits. And when we twist the spine, we're wringing, we're twisting, compressing the internal organs. It's always an internal cleansing, if you will. Spleen, liver, the kidneys. Inhale. Imagine deep expanse in the space in the right body, just above your hip and below the floating rib and the kidney wing. Exhale, feeling the contraction as the navel center draws back towards the spinal column. Take one more breath here. Very gently float the head and knees back to center. And holding at center in neutral, lengthening out the back side of the head and allowing the tailbone and the sacrum to sink heavy. A little press of the center of your heels into the floor beneath you. And you might like to take another press of the heels of the palms on top of the thighs, lengthening away. At your own pace, we'll begin preparing for the second side, bringing the arms out into a T formation. Walking feet and knees together, just a gentle shift of your hips over to the right, maybe an inch or two, and then dipping. That shift is gently to the left, forgive me, and then dipping the knees over to the right. So the head could stay neutral, or gently turn to gaze over the left fingertips. And you could use a prop in between your knees, which will relieve if you feel too much sensation on the outside edge of the left hip, perhaps in the lower back. Ease the jaw. Melt the shoulders back. Wide through the upper back. Just open chest center. Hone your attention on the expansion of breath in the left kidney wing of the body. See if you can feel that expanse right above the left hip, below your floating ribs, which is the base of your rib cage. It isn't a test, just sensing where we can bring in space. So as the belly expands, think about the back side of your belly. That would be the area of awareness we're honing in on here. On the exhalation, navel center, just drawing back towards the spinal column, sinking you deeper. And as you do, does it give you more space in the left armpit and through the inseam of the left arm? A little bit in the chest center? Maybe yes, maybe no. Just noticing. Slowly begin floating your knees and head back to center. Once there, heel toe your feet wider than the hips towards the edge of the mat. Let the knees sink in. Lower your hands or into Shavasana position. Shoulders sinking back. Allow the sinking of the pelvic floor. Notice how you feel after the twist. So we twisted the internal organs. Now we'll give them some time to absorb. Begin heel toeing your feet together and draw the knees into the body. Gently interlace your fingers around the shins or underneath the thighs. Tailbones lengthening towards the space in front of you. Back of the head lengthening towards the space behind you. Thigh bones melting onto the abdomen. Begin separating your knees towards your armpits. And then bring the soles of your feet towards the ceiling. You could drape your arms right around the backs of your thighs, coming into the stirrup. In Yin yoga, this pose is called stirrup pose. In traditional Hatha yoga, it's happy baby. If it's in your practice, you can take your hands in between your legs and hold on to the big toe edge of your feet. This is stirrup. In happy baby, the cue is to hold the pinky edge. I don't like giving have to cues. You must hold here, you must hold there. But I'd like you to know the reasoning behind it as it was taught to me. If you choose to hold on your pinky toe edge, like happy baby, fine. The reason the cue is given to hold on the big toe edge in stirrup is because Yin likes to keep it a bit more compact of a posture. There's a tendency when you hold on the pinky toe side that the feet flare open a little, and you can try right now in your home practice to see if that's true for you. With the posture compact, and I believe it does stay pretty compact if you're holding underneath your thighs. We can focus on the widening release of the sacrum and the release of the inner thighs. Today, our target is the inner thigh groin area where the legs are meeting the body and the abdomen. Wherever you are, soften the arms. Soften elbows. There's no forcing. There's a softening and the release. Lengthen out the back side of your head, chin's nodding down slightly. You're going to breathe into this posture for a few more moments. If that is not in your practice, simply come out of the hold. Soften inner thighs. Take one more breath. Wherever you're holding, release. Help the knees come together. Hug, whether it's interlacing your fingers around your shin or underneath your thigh. Femur bones melting onto the abdomen. It's as if the sacrum is being magnetically drawn towards the center of the earth. Tailbones lengthening away. Sink, sink, sink. Gently lower your feet on the mat. Roll over to your left side. Come into a fetal position with your knees closer to your nose and your nose closer to your knees. Use your top hand to help you press up. And we're going to make a transition into tabletop. So if you'd like to have some extra support for the knees, use a folded blanket. We'll start with palms underneath the shoulders. We'll move into the quarter dog. We'll slowly come down onto your left forearm and elbow. And as you slide the right arm long, you're going to rest your forehead onto your left forearm. Walk your right fingertips away until you feel enough sensation in your right armpit, in the right side body, and melt. Try to keep your hips stacked over your knees. In the mind's eye, feel the breath expanding wide into the intercostal muscles, then the rib cage, the right armpit. Take one more breath in and out. Slowly slide your right palm back underneath your right shoulder. We'll come back to tabletop. Exhale the high arch of the cat, chin to chest, tailbone tucks under. Inhale a neutral spine, as if the crown of the head were being lengthened to the space in front of you, the tailbone to the space behind. Exhale, high arch of the cat. Inhale, neutral spine. Exhale, high arch of the cat. Inhale, neutral spine. And now we'll move to the second side for quarter dog. Coming down onto your right forearm. Begin sliding the left arm long. Release your forehead onto your right forearm, walking the left fingertips away. Find your edge of the sensation. Try to keep the hips over the knees. Use the expanse of the inhale to bring space into the intercostal muscles within the rib cage, into the hollowing out of the left armpit. One more breath. Slowly slide your left palm back underneath your left shoulder, back into tabletop. Exhale the high arch of the cat. Inhale, come to a neutral spine. Exhale, high arch of the cat. Inhale, neutral spine. Exhale, high arch of the cat. Inhale, neutral spine. And one last set. Exhale, high arch of the cat. Inhale, neutral spine. Walk back and gently come onto one hip. Take your bolster or a rolled blanket. If you don't have a bolster, take your blanket out into a wide rectangle, and then we're going to preset it. If you have two blankets, I would recommend stacking so that you have some good cushioning like a bolster. So you'll either be sitting then like this, or it's a little long. You have a blanket, say like this, okay? We're just presetting. And then sit up tall. We're moving into now the neck area. Stimulate space in the lymphs. Your hands somewhere onto your legs. Lengthen out the back side of your head. And we're going to begin by dropping the chin to the chest. And then bring your right hand down beside your right hip and press your right fingers into the ground. And then gently dip your left ear towards your left shoulder. You'll feel the space you create in the right side of your neck. And gently walk your right fingertips away. It could be just a very micro amount distance. Relax your jaw, soften your face. And now inhale your left arm up and over so that your left palm comes to rest behind your right ear. And melt your left ear a little closer to your left shoulder. Breathing into the space you've created. On the right side, as we compress the left side. Take one more breath. Very gently releasing the left hand back to the floor. Roll the chin back to center. And dip your right ear towards the right shoulder. Left fingertips grounding, perhaps walking away from your left hip. Notice what you feel. Might be a lot different than the other side. And when you feel ready, bring the right palm and over the head, and it's going to rest to the back of your left ear. Gently guiding the right ear towards your right shoulder. Let's take one more breath. Gently releasing the right palm. Lower the chin towards your chest. Bring your palms back onto your lap and so slowly in either direction, begin a very slow-mo head roll. Taking one head roll in one direction. Listen, what do you hear? When the chin comes back to center, pause. And then opposite direction. So slow. When you find yourself chin to chest, float the head back to neutral at your own pace. In the center of your chest, mid breastbone, is your thymus gland. It is the producer of your white blood cells, your T cells. And there is something called the thymus plump, the thymus tap. It's a little practice that is thought to bring about a burst of vitality, a burst of energy. And as many articles as you read online about it or in journals, you'll find an article that says it's a hoax. But we're going to practice it, if for no other reason than to let you know, if you didn't already, then that the word thymus comes from the Greek word thymos, which actually means life energy. So why not? Why not for that very reason to stimulate our life energy? 20 to 30 seconds, just take a couple fingers, so mid breastbone, and a gentle tapping. You can add a sound, aha. Ah. I'll just sit for a couple seconds. You might even reflect on Tarzan. Kind of a primal declaration of your vital call. Moving into our rhino posture, we're going to lay back. If you're indeed on the bolster, you might enjoy extra padding for the neck. It's not a have to. Legs come out long. If you're on that blanket, if you do have some extra blanket at the end, give it a fold over to give yourself that extra comfort. Chest opener. A bit of a back bend. Relax your face. And allow the eyes to settle back, easing. As you give yourself over to the support beneath you, imagine this flow that's always happening within you, cleansing you. Constantly taking care moving throughout your body, colorless lymph fluid. Draining away what's harmful to keep you protected. As you rest, could you let the mind do the same? As you feel the stroke of breath coming in through the nostrils, let it be the refresh to the mind, bringing in what's needed to support you in oxygen. And with the gentle exhalation, a gentle fall, taking away what's harmful. The excessive fears, the doubts, the worries. The thoughts about what's not even here yet, or what's long been gone. In these remaining moments, breathe into this incredible you. Whole, complete. Resting in this spatial awareness. And I'll be silent as you do. Take a deep breath in. Let it go with a gentle sigh. Bend the knees, step your feet on the mat or the floor beneath you, and gently roll to one side. Take a moment in the fetal position, bring your knees a little closer to your nose, the nose a little closer to your knees. And then press up to a comfortable seated posture, perhaps sitting on a folded blanket or your bolster. And clasp, bringing our palms together. Wishing peace to all, love to all, and light to all. Namaste.